Hi everybody, Dave here. I get so many requests about our van, so I thought I'd make a little video overview about our van and show you some of the features of it. Uh, we previously had a Nissan NV 200, and as snowbirds, we go back and forth several times a year from New York to Florida, and the NV 200 was fine for that. We had it set up so one person could sleep and the other could drive, and 21 hours, and we could get there with all our stuff and the dog, etc. And we just realized we wanted something bigger to do some adventures with as well, and made a list of what we wanted to do. You know, be able to stand up, be able to sleep two of us comfortably, be with the dog, with all our stuff. Maybe most of a week of camping, um, and do some adventure trips and Grand Canyon, all the Western parks, that kind of thing. So looked around for a while, and the Nissan, which is no longer sold in the US, turned out to be good for us. I like Nissan generally. This is a 2019 2500 SV. It was a cargo van for a kitchen rental company from Arizona, so it had no rust on it. I did buy it in Florida, and unfortunately, I didn't make a full video of the renovation, which took me about 4 or 5 weeks, and accumulated materials for a while, made a list of all the features we wanted, and then uh, did the work, and then we've taken a few trips on it now, which we'll probably see if we can make some videos out of those. So let's go through the van and show you what I've done and how we enjoy it. Pretty much everything we have in the front is stock. Maybe a couple things we'll show you, but I love this under seat storage on the Nissan. I have tools, flashlight, Leatherman, basic rag, quick access in case I need to do anything with the van. Uh, Nothing else here to look at. In fact, if you pan across the whole van, what you'll see is that we are pretty stealthy. Right? We don't have any obvious signs. Maybe there's one right there. We've got shore power here, just 20 amps. I didn't feel the need to do anything more than 20. Um, we weren't planning to have air conditioning, so that worked out fine. Here's the passenger side of the van. Again, nothing on the external of the van which would give it away. Maybe I'll show you the top of the Nissan, where you can see the attachment points. The van originally did not have rear windows. I did purchase rear windows and did the cutouts and sealed those in. That reminds me, I should have a link in the description of everything I spent on the van, where I bought things from, and what the costs were. And so you'll be able to take a look at that and judge for yourself. This was one of our high cost items. I think the pair of windows was $600, and that was actually quite a bit. I do have a couple of other YouTube channels, one for repairing loudspeakers and another for fishing. And you can check those out separately, and I'll provide links below. Back here, so we do have the windows, as I mentioned, a trailer hitch. This is an 8-cylinder. I looked quite a long time for the 8-cylinder with relatively low mileage. We got it with around 55,000 miles on it, so it should have a good long life. On as far as the roof goes, we don't permanently attach anything. I've thought about putting more solar up there. We do have a portable solar panel that when we need to charge, we just throw it up on the roof, and that's all there is to it. Make sure we're in the sunny area, throw it on the roof, and take it down when we're ready to go. On the passenger side, the only thing we really have here is We do have bug screens. We have the type that stretch over the passenger and driver door windows. So if we need air circulation, as you notice, we don't have a max air fan in the roof. I kind of have that as a tentative future purchase, but so far we haven't found the need for it. And we also have a window screen that we put in this opening and also in the back garage opening. And that seems to work for us. I really want to get a step, retractable step. Right now we're using milk crate for an extra step. I've looked at a variety of different steps, and because we're around the salt and with fishing stuff, steel, I try to minimize steel everywhere I can. So I looked at the Thule. It's nice, but it's very expensive, and I'm thinking about making one out of 80/20 because I want something really low profile to keep the ground clearance up as well. Also, there's 8 attachment points on each side on the roof, and so with that, I have a rig, just a tarp with carabiners on it, and I clip onto those roof attachment points, and then I've got some fiberglass tomato stakes that allow us to put a 12 by 15 tarp out here, which works really well. So let's go inside. The van is set up right now in our driving around town configuration when we're in either New York or Florida and not on an adventure. But we've got pretty much the front bins set up here. These are all just stock configuration that the Nissan comes with. You know, cleaning stuff, and medical kit, tissues, soap, and junk drawer tray. We do have a swivel seat installed in the Nissan to make that work well. It has a 1.5-inch offset to it, and you actually buy it with the offset. Works really well. And if you do have it, it eliminates the opportunity to even use the center console. When we're driving as much as we do on long trips, we tend to go back and forth. Well, the passenger tends to go back and forth between the front and back. So we wanted to have that area open. So I did remove the center console. Center console does have a 110 and a 12-volt outlet in it as part of the stock configuration, and we repurposed that, and I'll show you that. We do have a little table here that stays in this position when stowed, and it tips and swivels, and with this, we use it for the passenger for dining. We take it outside. We can even use it as a center area between the seats as well. Let me just swivel the seat around so you can see how easy that is. It's really nothing to it. You just have to tip the seat forward. There's a lever on the front, and you spin it. That's all there is to it. And that allows the great seating when we have people in the van with us. Toilet, it's just a collapsible ABS, made of ABS, very rigid, 300 pounds. Comes with the gel packs you throw in if necessary. We obviously have this just for emergencies, and otherwise we try to use a public restroom. Next thing here in the front, we do have a curtain, which we just have a piece of clothesline. So at night we can pull the curtain across. It's a blackout, so it helps quite a bit. Went with the woodsy theme on the blackout curtain. Works great. This is our water supply. We've got one of the rechargeable pumps on it. These are becoming very popular for this kind of travel. And it just strapped back here. It took me a while to find one of the more rectangular water jugs. It's 5 1/4 gallons. Rectangular things fit better than round things. So anytime I can get something rectangular, I try to do that. I try to keep the electrical systems separate. What I mean by separate is we do have a power bank, a Bluetti. Uh, Currently, we've got the small one, but I just ordered the new 1,000 watt hour version, and I purchased one of these rocker switch controllers. And up here is where the van had a 12 volt and a 110. Whenever you can use power and not go through the inversion process of either AC to DC or DC to AC, it's preferable. So if you can use the power that you have in the form that it's in, you eliminate all the conversion inefficiencies. So I try to keep the two separated, but what I did here was I made a place for the van power to come into the system, and I can either charge our fridge or charge the Bluetti after turning the power on and off. I also have the opportunity to have to run all the lighting and the fridge off the Bluetti. So you have a choice when you run the fridge of either running it off van power or fridge power. You pick only one or the other of these two. And there's also some convenience outlets here, and I have a spare. And so this is a lighted rocker switch, so it's pretty easy just to kind of glance down, since this is under the passenger seat, either or under the driver's seat. Either the passenger or driver can just simply glance down and make sure that when we're leaving, everything's off if we want it to be off. Obviously, if we're going on a day hike or something and we want to keep the fridge running, we just make sure that the Bluetti is running the fridge. So just to show you the overall internal configuration, um, we have a jackknife seat bed. It has DOT approved construction and 3 seat belts. We only use 2. This was important to us to have a standard passenger area that we could have extra people and be able to transport them. The bed is removable as well. I only drilled 4 holes in the entire van, and I drilled 5 holes, and 4 of the 5 are for the securing of the seat bed to the bed and frame of the van, and then the 5th hole was for the shore power. But it's got some nice clamp system that allows this seat bed to be fairly easily removed, which is amazing. We have full insulation, both sound deadening, damping insulation, like Killmat, and then fiberglass insulation as well. I do have one photo that I took when I was kind of in the middle of that process, and I'll pop that up here and you can see what we did. But all the walls, all the ceilings, fully insulated. We did leave the 2 bump outs on the side. We wanted the extra height or the extra length in the width dimension for our bed. So we have that, and that works for us. Neither one of us is over 6 foot, so that works perfectly. And we have an 80-inch wide queen bed topper that we put on top of the jackknife seat, which gives us the width that we like to have. Cabinets are constructed out of birch ply, and we've got the maple doors on the front. I love doing woodworking, so that was something that I worked on. The ceiling is just 1/4 inch plywood, and no, you can't buy it stained like this. I tried to stain the birch plywood on the angles as well as the ceiling. I tried to stain it to match the the maple slab that I was able to purchase. So the lights that you see are the two different systems we've got. Down the center on the ceiling are the van lights, powered by the van battery, and then things on the side, as well as the one we have here in the front, that comes from the power bank. We've got the lights that have the USB outlet, so that can also be used for charging if necessary, and that turns out to be very convenient. So I should talk for a minute about the cabinets. When you're carrying 3 people back here, um, I wanted to have storage space, maximize the use, but not have a headbanger. And this is also true when you're in the bed mode and you're sleeping back here. So I made this angled cabinet unit. This is a box built as separately and then installed using the cargo storage mounting points, the threaded inserts that are in the Nissan frame. So no holes needed to be drilled. I just picked up on those points, and we have upper storage here and then lower storage under here. We'll take a look at that in more detail. And it works great. So you don't, if you're sitting back here, you don't feel cramped. You don't feel like you're banging your head. And that was important, I think. Behind these panels, so we took advantage of, normally the Nissan has a separate panel, a cover panel over these recessed areas, and a lot of people do insulate this, but we wanted the length and the width. So this area, we took the panel out and just put some reflective style Mylar insulation here and covered it with spray glue and fabric. Here we have the original OEM panel. These are basically masonite, and those have been covered with vinyl and just attached using the same original trim clips. I've got a separate sound system installed in the back portion, separate speakers, a Bluetooth connection, and a subwoofer. And so that's part of the 2 separate electrical system themes. I'm a big fan of neodymium magnets, so we've got magnetic hooks, cup holders, using lots of magnets all around as necessary. This is the one panel that I haven't trimmed out yet, and I'm not sure what we're going to do here. Right now, you can see it's got all the original panel from Nissan has all these holes in it, and they have a trim version, probably for their passenger van primarily, and they use that to keep that all covered up. But I like the magnet, so I think I'm going to consider keeping that going. Same here on the passenger side slider. We kept the extra space. Been thinking about putting a window on this side. It's $1,000 for that window, so I haven't pulled the trigger on it yet. But we may do that, and then obviously just vinyl covering on the bottom. In the rear section here, we've got just a dollar store hanging hammock, a little hook rack. We keep a lap desk there. There's some more magnet hooks behind this cabinet on both sides. There is a rechargeable fan that we keep mounted here, and we do have another rechargeable fan, which I'll show you as well. But what's nice is that this area, you can keep things in and they don't block your view. We do have a curtain that comes across as well for privacy and does cover the window as well. And if we do have the magnet screen on, which encloses the opening, we can orient that curtain in different ways and provide different amounts of airflow and light combination. So as far as the cabinets go, Just some simple gas springs to hold those up, some magnet latches, everything we try to do stainless steel whenever possible. These bins, I found I was changing bin configurations and frequently. So these are the simple plastic bins from the dollar store, and if you use a dry erase marker, you can write on them and easily wipe it out, and if you change the purpose of what's in there. So we have bins on both sides. There's a hammock here. There's a plug-in 12-volt heater, which if we do need some auxiliary heat, we just use a simple little plug-in heater. Got speed control and temperature control, so that works great. Bath towels. Let me get you up here so you can see how this access system works. So we've got some removable panels. Once those are removed, it allows you to get down into the storage area. So this side I've got mostly automotive and supplies and tools, socket sets, gloves, extra oil, that kind of thing. On this side, we've got obviously more storage on top, and this is primarily frequently used, and then on the underside, on the angle portion, less frequently used. Things like raincoats, rain jackets, collapsible camp chair, extra butane for the butane stove, a few more tools like the jack for the car, for the van itself, that kind of thing. On top, we've got coffee maker, mugs and spices and coffee, our electric hot plate, silverware. Right now, in this mode, the bedding for the van is stored up in here. So when sheets and blankets and pillowcases, that kind of thing, when we do go into bed mode, those will come out, and more of our foodstuffs and other temporary storage will go there. Window screens for all the openings, tarp. So let me just show you a little bit more about the kitchen area. We do a 2-cooler system. This is our Alpcool, I think it's C20. I forget, it'll be in the listing below, but this can run off 12 volt or 110. If we stop and go into a hotel, we actually carry this in and run it on the 110. We have some medication that we need to keep refrigerated all the time, so that was an important point for us. But we also have a Lost Creek. This is the brand from Sportsman's Warehouse. That's a Yeti knockoff. It keeps ice 13 days. You can't beat it. And it's a quarter the price of a Yeti if you can get it on sale. So that we use for other general storage. We've got a flip-up kitchen counter here. So this is where we do all our prep, put our sink here, food prep. Usually one of us eats here. You can eat two can eat at this, one on this edge and one on that edge, but it works great for us. And this was part of them. I got all the maple slabs I got from a Habitat for Humanity restore, and that was kind of the inspiration. Had the slabs earlier before I did the van build, and it turned out I built the theme of the van around that for the internal cosmetics. Easy up and easy down. It's hard to beat that. And just, again, stoves with a bungee. Typically, we'll keep a day pack hanging there. That's already pre-packaged with everything you would need for a day hike. So quick grab and go on those. The floor, has one of the corrugated steel ribbed floors. So between each of those strips, or between each of those ribs, I put about a 3/8 inch strip of plywood, and then there's a piece of microfoam insulation a 1/4-inch plywood, and then this fiber-backed vinyl, which also came from Restore. I'm a big Restore fan, as you can see. Under the bed is our, or now it's the seat, but under that is storage. We're using primarily, Home Depot bins and some custom boxes. This has all our kitchenware, which I keep in the van, even because that way you don't have to bring it in and out of the house. But uh, we've got leveling blocks, a couple leveling blocks in here, uh, butane stove, collapsible sink. Here's our 120 watt Bluetti solar panel is here. This is a large bin that just has storage of things that we're prepping for our trip back to Florida this fall. So this is already filled and ready to go back with us. Another leveling block. This bin has cutting boards, plates, bowls, plastic wrap, aluminum foil. All right, let me show you conversion to bed mode. It's just a typical jackknife sofa. Lift up, pull back, push down. Oh, I've got the carpet in the way in the back, so I'll have to pull that out. But that's really all there is to it. And then we put our mattress topper over it, and then put the bedding, sheets and blankets over the top of that. You just tuck these seat belts into those little openings, which are part of the jackknife sofa mechanism. So that works really well for us. I was meaning to show you, I did reinstall all the tie downs. So I needed the ability to remove everything out of this van. Maybe not the cabinets, but I like the ability to haul big stuff, furniture, etc. So that meant the bed chair needed to be removable. I try to keep removable bins, the collapsible cabinet, collapsible counter instead of a fixed cabinet in there, and be able to use the tie downs to secure whatever. And the unit has, I think, 8 tie downs in it. This turned out to be a great spot to store grocery bags. We use them for trash, and this cavity now holds about 50 plastic grocery bags. So that turned out to be a nice little feature. Even if I do put a panel on this, I'll keep the opening to be able to keep the bag access there. All right, in the back garage area, we've got the curtain that we put out. We store a flashlight. On this side, we've got trekking poles, umbrella. Those are the fiberglass tomato stakes, 6-foot stakes that I use for tarp poles. You can see the bins come under the seat. We've got a rolled carpet, 5x7, camp carpet that we keep here. Power cord for shore power. We have a couple of rigid, heavy-duty camp chairs. I like a good camp chair. In the back here, this is where our power bank is. When we get the new Bluetti, that'll go in here. So I've got all the tie-ins and connections. Shore power comes in, goes out to that rocker switch panel that we saw in the front. Also powers the input for the solar if we need that. And even this Bluetti is the EB3A. Yeah, this is the EB3A, super light. Haven't had any issues with it, but we are getting the Elite 100 V2. That should be here in a couple weeks, and that will let us power essentially any 15 amp electrical device that we want. I didn't show it to you before, but we do have an LED color changing LED strip runs along the bottom of the cabinets there. So I've got the little controller for that. Large flashlight. In the back door, there's a pre-existing pocket that Nissan provides. So I have a water hose, air pump, um, more bungees, and I've also should show you these steps. So these are very handy if you need to get on the roof. Let me show you how those work. I would like to have a collapsible ladder, but I haven't found one cheap yet. So I should say inexpensive. You don't ever want a cheap ladder. You want an inexpensive ladder. These steps use the latches for your doors. So this allows you to step here and go all the way up to the top of the roof, which is necessary. Uh, However, some door latches have these extended um, loops, and so the standard latch won't work. You need to put a little extra spacer on there, so I just added some Velcro that keeps the step level. And around in the back, we don't have any latches like this, so I had to rig up a separate system. Let me show you that. Obviously, you need to get on the roof from the back, and that's not easy to do. There are no, the only latch exists is up high or down low, and that's not going to work. So on the D pillar, what we have is a rigid, stiff, thick steel piece. So S hook, a couple of large washers, and then the spacer block, and that provides a proper step to be able to get up on the roof. I neglected to mention it, but we do have another tarp that comes off the back, encloses this area, and this with a black plastic shower bag, solar shower, this becomes a shower area as well. So I hope you've seen some things in this video that appeal to you. Give me some feedback as well, because I have a few more things in mind that I want to do with the van. But the more brains that work on a project like this, the better off you'll be with your results. So thanks a lot. Bye.